So we finally got a release date and a price for the PlayStation VR2, and it's a lot steeper than I think a lot of people were hoping for. Honestly, I was probably expecting this to be this ballpark. That said, I was hoping it was going to be a little bit cheaper than it ended up being priced for. And keep in mind, we got USD prices as well as some other regions. I don't have the Canadian prices for my fellow Canadians, but I can give you ballpark what it's probably most likely going to be in Canadian as well. So anyways, welcome back, my friends, to another video here on the channel. Like I said before, we do variety gaming content, let's plays, walkthroughs, guides, gaming news, all the good stuff. Been doing a lot of Modern Warfare 2 lately, so if you guys are enjoying that content, be sure to stick around for more of that. But if you don't, again, there's still a variety of content for you guys to enjoy here on the channel. So PlayStation VR2, man, my goodness gracious. Let's start with the date. So it's February 22nd, 2023, 4 days before my birthday, by the way. That's pretty exciting, but the price is not so exciting. So February 22nd, 2023 is when it launches, but pre-orders start November 15th. So that's going to be, well, we're currently the 2nd, so that's in about just under 2 weeks, give or take, right? About 13 days or so at the time of recording this. So you're going to be able to pre-order it very, very soon, but it's going to be for a pretty hefty price, and we got some stuff to talk about. Also, by the way, they announced 11 other games, so we're going to talk about that as well, so stay tuned for that. Let's just get it out of the way, like pulling a band-aid off. So the price is going to be $550 USD. You did not mishear that. Let me repeat it in case you think you did. $550 USD, which is $600. I guess that's euros, I believe. 530 pounds, I believe that is, and 74,980 yen, I believe, is that other logo dollar sign that I see here. So again, we don't have any idea for Canada. Now you're probably wondering, well, what should it be in Canadian? Well, $550 USD will probably be at least 650 minimum Canadian, but most likely it's going to be $700 Canadian. Yes, so for my Canadian friends, that is a lot of money. Now I don't know why it's that expensive. It's very, very unfortunate that it's that expensive, because here's the thing, right? It is more, yes, more than a PS5. A PS5 will run you cheaper than that, $100 cheaper. It is $100 more than the disc version of the PS5. If you go over to the digital version of the PS5, it's running you even more than that. So again, I'm going with USD prices. I'm in Canada, but most people are probably going to be watching this from the US, and you can do your kind of local currency and convert it from there. Check how much PS5s are where you're at, compared to how much the PSVR 2 is. But a PS5 in USD, the disc version is $460. So the PSVR 2 is $100 more. And obviously you need a PS5 to play this thing. So, I mean, if you're going to get the disc version of the PS5 anyways, and that's running you, a lot of money. Now, some people say, well, yeah, but if you get any other kind of VR headset, you got to get a PC that's strong enough to handle it, which is going to cost you some money. And then you got to get, of course, the VR itself. And that is true. And I don't remember how much the VR headsets go for on PC, but at that point, I mean, PC is kind of a better option almost, because with PlayStation you're pretty much stuck with exclusives, whereas PC, I mean, from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, you got like a much more wide variety of options for your VR, and that's the big kind of weak point, right, for their selling point, is that there's not a lot of support, right? Like a PS5, right, selling at $400 or $500. The PS5 is a normal console. First of all, there's a lot more people that are going to buy just kind of a normal console than a VR headset, and the games are just better, more. It's more well supported, right? The games are better. Everything's just better all around. That said, you could actually pick up a digital version of the PS5 in USD for $360. So you can get it pretty dirt cheap compared to the PSVR 2 headset. which is absolutely mad. So again, I don't know, man. Like there is going to be some bundles as well. So if you pay an extra $50, you can get the PSVR 2 Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle. So it's going to come with the Horizon Call of the Mountain game. That game looks great, but at the same time, I mean, compared to like a game, and I don't expect this from VR at all, obviously, but a game like, you know, Horizon Forbidden West, I mean, it's obviously not going to compare to a game like that. VR is very, very, very different, but that's kind of the problem, right? VR is almost niche in a way, right? And so, you know, this thing is priced high, and I get it because the specs are pretty impressive, right? We got like some pretty impressive specs we'll talk about real quick. I'll remind you guys if you don't know. But just real quick, they also have a charging station for the PSVR 2 Sense controller, which is $50 that they're going to be selling as well, and a couple other accessories of the like and whatnot. But the specs, okay, let's talk about that real quick. So it's an OLED display. OLED is automatically going to be a little bit more pricey, right? Now, should they have went OLED? I mean, OLED is a nice feature, but if that's going to increase the price, then at that point, I would say like it's not worth it, especially for something that, you know, again, this unit is going to be more niche, man. It's not going to be something that, you know, a lot of people are going to be getting, a lot of people are going to be using. Not everybody's going to buy a PSVR headset. And you know, I don't know, the resolution's pretty high, right? 2000 by 2040 per eye. Refresh rate is 90 hertz and 120 hertz. Lens separation adjustable, field of view approximately 110 degrees. They got motion sensor, 6-axis motion sensing system, 3-axis gyroscope, 3-axis accelerometer, you know, IR proximity sensor. There's a lot of tech in this thing, right? 4 cameras for the headset and controller tracking, IR camera for eye tracking per eye, vibration on headset, USB Type-C, built-in microphone, and output stereo headphone jack. That's kind of all of the specifications for the VR headset itself. And then we have the controller specifications, which again, very similar with the motion sensors and all that. And you got all the buttons and all that. But anyways, it also has Bluetooth version 5.1. Haptic feedback and also trigger effect on the L2 and R2. So, I mean, there's a lot of tech in this, but again, it doesn't matter how much tech this is, you know, this is very impressive, but if it's at this price point and you can't get it into that many people's hands, then it really doesn't matter how much this or what kind of tech is in this thing, right? Because while that's very enticing, it's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people. You're paying more for this thing than the PS5, and that's kind of the problem with the selling point. Is like, how do you really kind of pull off that selling point, right? Like, I get there's a lot of tech, and I get this thing looks, you know, pretty incredible from what I can see on paper, and it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. But again, it's going to be a super hard sell, especially that price point. A lot of people I was seeing were hoping for maybe more like $400 USD, which is $150 less than what the actual price point is. And even at $400 USD, you know, that's still pretty, you know, a chunk of money, but that's more easily digestible, right? I think a lot more people would have picked this thing up for 400. A lot of people I'm seeing in the comments and replies of this thing already saying, I'm not going to buy it because it's too expensive. You know, if it would have been like $100 less, $150 less, I would have bought it, but at this price, I'm not going to. So let me know in the comments below, where do you stand? Were you kind of never going to buy it? Were you kind of waiting on a price? Where do you stand with this price? Would you have bought it if it was cheaper? Are you still going to buy it at this price? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd be very interested to hear what you guys have to say regarding that. Just really quick, let me just kind of list off the 11 other games that got announced. I don't know what any of these are. You can look them up if you want to. Some of them look more horror-y, if you will. So there's Dark Pictures called Switchback VR. Dark Pictures made like Man and Medan and games like that, if I recall correctly. So Switchback VR, it looks kind of more like horror. We have First Look Crossfire, Sierra Squad, which I guess is more of again, if you go, I'll link the whole blog post in the description below if you want to take a look at every single kind of trailer and whatnot. But I guess it's more of like a shooter of some sort, like a, you know, kind of futuristic shooter. There's one called The Light Brigade as well. Again, there's like a whole bunch of information. Cities VR. There's Cosmonius High. There is Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, which is going to be coming. Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. Pistol Whip VR. Zenith, The Last City, if I'm pronouncing that right. We have After the Fall, which is also coming. Tentacular, and that's all the new stuff. And then, of course, all the stuff they've already announced, like the Horizon one and all the other VR games they already announced. So again, some cool games in here, but again, nothing that really makes me go, wow, I really need this thing. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you plan to pick one up? What do you think of these games? Again, I'll link the blog post for both articles down in the description below, so you can see all the trailers for the games as well. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this one, stick around for more. I'll see you guys soon in another one. Until then, my friends, game on. Thanks for watching.